Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Amber Living Vlog. This is Beyond Film School, and I'm Amber, and today we're talking about the additional second assistant director. So before we jump to the video about the additional second assistant director, be sure to hit up that PayPal link. It really helps me out. If you are in support of Beyond Film School, if you like this video, if you are in support of me and what I do, and I can't thank everyone enough for those who contributed already. If you are new to my channel, please remember to subscribe so you can stay updated on all the videos I upload. Set PA class happening June 28th. If you guys want to join me for that, I'll leave the link below. You can check out the details on my website, and it is quickly filling up. I only have 3 spots left for the class for June 28th. So be sure to hit up that link so you can get into the class. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Beyond Film School. I would love to share your photos. Please tag Beyond Film School so I can share your photos. Share some success stories. Tell me what your set life is like if you've just started to work on set. Even if it's a throwback photo, I would love to share it. So tag Beyond Film School on Instagram so I can share your photos on my account. Now let's get to the last video of the AD series, the Assistant Director series, the additional second assistant director. What is an additional second assistant director? To put it simply, the additional second assistant director is extra help. That's what they are. They are largely brought on when there is extra of something, if there's more than usual happening on a show or production. An additional second assistant director is going to be brought in when there is more background than usual. So on any given show, TV show, or movie, there is going to be maybe 25, maybe 50 core background. Those are the background that you see all the time on that show. So say that they might be shooting a scene in a bar and they need 100 more background actors. Well, that would be the day that you bring in an additional second assistant director. And cast is no different. If for whatever reason there is way more cast than usual, they will bring on an additional second AD to help coordinate all the cast members. In the event that a show or production has a tandem unit. Now a tandem unit is going to be another unit shooting at the same time as the main unit, separate locations but they're shooting at the exact same time. So when you have a tandem unit, additional second ADs really come into play in this situation. Have you ever seen a show where they have photos on their phone, or maybe they're going on an Instagram account? So those things need to be shot. So those things require a photo shoot. So when you have a photo shoot on a production, you usually bring in additional second AD to help coordinate that photo shoot. Additional second ADs are also brought on when you have stunts happening. Maybe you have a lot of stunt drivers, stunt performers, whatever the case may be. When you have a lot of stunt performers, stunt men and women, and then you have the stunt coordinator, they usually bring in an additional second AD to help coordinate all those performers. This is a big one for CBS, ABC, NBC. Cast members will have to do promos and interviews, and they'll be asked questions about behind the scenes, how they felt during this and that, and during this episode, how it felt to, work with such and such director. And those are electronic press kits or, press interviews. And a lot of the times they'll bring in additional second ADs to help coordinate and make sure that those press kits get done in a timely manner. And of course, in this day and age, social media is a huge deal for most productions, TV shows and movies, so it doesn't matter. You're gonna have social media people. So NBC specifically has designated folks for social media, and they'll come on set and they'll ask the cast if they can do a video or they can do a quick Instagram story or something like that. So sometimes they'll bring in additional second AD to help coordinate with that social media person to make sure that all the cast members get it done, and hopefully in a fast, efficient way, because that is an extra thing when we're on set. So social media is last in line. They want to make sure that the social media person gets what they need and that it's not being a hindrance on what we're shooting for the day. So additional second AD is really good for that area. With all the examples that I gave, when an additional second AD is needed, those are extra things or outside the norm for that show or movie. So they are not on every day. Your key second assistant director is on every day, your first obviously is on every day, and your second is on every day. The additional second ADs are not on every day, and they're only called in for certain days. So obviously this can vary per show. It's not going to be the same across the board. I've seen some shows with way more additional second ADs, and then some where they could have used a few additional second ADs. But it's going to vary per show or production. For example, on New Amsterdam, an NBC show, that show in particular has a additional second AD on every single day to help with cast. Now that show is kind of special only because that show has a lot of cast every day, sometimes 7+ members all the time. So there's a lot of different people they gotta keep track of, and that production finds it useful to have an additional second on for the cast. With all the stuff we talked about before, I know we talked about if there's more cast, if there's more, maybe there's a stunt performer, maybe there's a photo shoot, social media. For the most part, additional second ADs are going to be living in the background world. The general rule is for every 100 background performers, they're gonna have 1 additional AD on. Anything under 100 background actors, the regular ADs on for the show will usually be able to handle that along with the PAs, the background PAs. So once you hit over 100, you're gonna need a little extra help. So there's like a hierarchy system that happens. The second's gonna be on top, and then they have like, it branches off into like additional ADs, and then the additional ADs have like the background runner and then the background PAs helping them out. This also falls in the background world if there are children on set, minors, babies, toddlers. If there are a bunch of those kids, maybe they're shooting a scene in a daycare, or maybe it's gonna be, juvenile facility, who knows? There are lots of minors going around. Even though it doesn't go over 100 background actors, it does take a little bit more care to handle minors and children and babies on set. So they usually bring in an additional second AD for those responsibilities as well, just to help out if there are a lot of them. Animals fall under that as well. So if there are dog walkers, or maybe there's a cat in the scene, if there's any animals on set, they usually bring in additional ADs to handle the animal and the animal wrangler. It sounds silly, but that would be their sole responsibility the entire day. The additional second AD will look after this cat, this dog, whatever animal it could be. I know what you're probably thinking, well, just throw a couple more PAs in there. Well, in these situations, sometimes it is needed to have someone that's more experienced, is a little bit more reliable, a little bit more trustworthy, and that knows set operations like the back of their hand. Additional second ADs are known to be more experienced than just your average PA. When you're dealing with cast and when you're dealing with background actors and performers, and if you're dealing with animal wranglers or any of those special types of situations, there's a lot of rules and regulations that go into those performers. So there's SAG rules, there's child labor laws. It is the job of the additional second AD to know SAG rules like the back of their hand. They need to know cast SAG rules, principal cast, contracts, and also when it comes to background performers. And to top it off, those rules might change, the rates might change, because every July, SAG-AFTRA negotiates their contract. What are additional second ADs doing? Now, I know we talked about all the types of things they might be dealing with, but what exactly are they doing? They are keeping track of whatever situation they're put in. If they are in the background world, they're keeping track of background. If they are with first team, then they are keeping track of first team. They are keeping track of the actors. If they are helping with stunts, they are keeping track of the stunt performer, stunt coordinator, and anything that they might need. If they're helping with a photo shoot, they are with the people who are the photographer, and they are with the actor or whoever is going to be in the photo shoot, and they are keeping track and they are making sure it's done. They are also informing the key second AD of the progress of the task they are given. They are telling the key second AD if the photo shoot was done, if the stunt performers are out of HMU, if they're out of wardrobe. They are keeping production, meaning the first AD and the second AD, abreast on what is going on. The additional second assistant directors that are brought on to help with background, they are making sure the background know what is going on. They are helping to get the background ready for whatever scene they're going to be in. And they have to make sure that the background are informed what kind of scene it is, how they want to act, because the additional second ADs are there to kind of direct the background in the scene. They're going to be setting background. For example, the show I worked on, it was an FBI show, so there was a lot of shooting and there's guns and everything, so they have to make sure that the background are like scared, or that they are ducking, or that they have to run. So they're helping direct and set the background for the scene. Just a few side notes for the additional second AD. Once a PA actually becomes an AD and they are actually in the DGA, they're a union AD, their first job will most likely be an additional second AD. So like I said earlier in the video, additional second ADs are not going to be on every single day. They're going to be on when they're needed. So they're going to be hopping on and off different shows all through the week. You're not going to get consistent work when you're first starting out and you get into the DGA. So it can be pretty tough jumping from PA to AD. A lot of the union assistant directors that I know have said that the hardest stage in being an AD is the additional second AD stage, when you're hopping around from show to show, getting those gigs, making sure that the ADs above you see you as an AD and not just as a PA anymore. It's sort of like when you're an additional day player PA and you want to move up to being a staff PA. You want that everyday gig. That's like the hardest leap as far as I know. It's very, very hard to go from hopping around from show to show, getting them to see you, trust you, and then move into being a staff PA. So it's the same when you're an AD, because you move from a PA and then you try to be an AD, your additional AD, and then your next move from additional AD is going to be a second and to be on as a second every day. So it is very, very hard to make the jump. While you're a PA, I would suggest making sure that people know that you are on the AD track. A lot of people forget to tell people what their goals are. So if you are an aspiring assistant director, you need to make sure the people around you know that's your track and that they see you as an AD. And not only that, when you're a PA, you need to start acting like an assistant director. You need to make sure you're holding yourself accountable, you're being responsible, you're not having this kind of I don't care attitude. You really have to look up to the people above you, and you need to take note of how they are on set, what they're doing on set, how do they handle themselves, and kind of encompass that and make sure that you are a better PA, because that's only going to make you move up faster. Keep that in mind for anyone that's trying to be an assistant director, that you have to really have them see you as the assistant director, because once you have your book in, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, totally trust so-and-so for this thing. I wanna bring them on, I wanna give them a day. You basically need someone to take a chance on you that first day. I remember my friend Carlina, I worked with her as a background PA, and it was her first day as an additional second AD on set. And I was like, oh my God, I was so happy for her. But it was like, she said for her to get to that stage was really, really hard to get someone to bring her onto something. So that is it for this week. That has been the video on the additional second AD. That completes the series of all the ADs, all the assistant directors. We've completed the AD series. It's been such a lovely journey with you guys on the AD series. And now we're gonna move on to the PAs. Now, the PA positions, we're gonna start at the bottom. Now, I know with the ADs, we started at the top, we started with the first AD, but I think it's super important to start with the additional day player PA, then starting from the key PA going down. We're gonna go all the way up instead. So I just think it was important to start there because that's a fundamental step in everyone's breaking into the industry. That is it for this week. If you guys can hit that PayPal link, like I said before, if you like this video, you are in support of what I do, if you support Beyond Film School, I would love your contribution and it will help me out a lot. Also my PA class June 28th. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please comment below. Please feel free to email me at beyondfilmschool@gmail.com. Check out my website if you are interested in the PA class. I will leave that link below. So that is it, and I shall see you guys next time.